Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Yekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketur Ganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Pakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvajaha Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopasanteye Yasya Dvirada Vaktradhya Parishadhya Parasatam Vighnam Nigdhanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrpatamaham Bande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Tunvanti Divyaihi Stavaihi Vedehi Sankapada Kramopanishadaihi Gayantiyam Samagaha Dhyana Vastita Tadgateda Manasa Pashyantiyam Yoginaha Yasyantam Naviduhu Surasura Ganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Janmadhyatsa Yataha Anvayat Yataratascha Arteshu Abhignaha Swarat Tene Brahma Hridayaka Adikavaye Mukhyantiyat Sorayaha Tejovari Murdam Yatha Vinimayo Yatritru Sargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kohakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharmaha Prochida Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmat Saranam Satam Vedhyam Vastavam Atravastu Sivadam Tapatrayon Molanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kimva Parairisvaraha Sadhyo Hridi Avarudhyatehe Atra Kritubihi Sushrushubihi Tatkshanat Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Palam Sukhamukhat Amrita Drava Samyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muraho Rasikaha Bhuvi Bhavukaha Vasudeva Para Veda Vasudeva Para Makhaha Vasudeva Para Yoga Vasudeva Para Kriyaha Vasudeva Param Jnanam Vasudeva Param Tapaha Vasudeva Paro Dharmo Vasudeva Paragatihi Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Now with Bhagavan's grace, we came up to Slokam number 10, Adhyayam 17, Skandham 4 last time. Now, after since we had a weekend break, very briefly, the musicians, they all sing the praise of Prithu, outlining what are the things he will be doing, what is going to happen in the future. And then after that, Prithu was happy, he was very pleased. And then the moment, the time that he was coronated, Pattabhishekam took place. At that time, at the same moment, immediately after that, because the Bhuma Devi, the Bhumi, has not been producing any crops, full drought everywhere. People approached him, tremendously suffering from hunger, like they were all like skeletons. And then they told him, Swami, just like the wood that burns from the fire from within, we are also being burnt from within by the Jatharagni. And you're being appointed now as our leader, as our master, as our protector, isn't it? Therefore, we surrender to you. And you are the one who's got the responsibility to protect us and nourish us, allow us to grow in our life. Right? We are very hungry. Putting it in a very simple way, we are starving, Swami. You have to take care of us. When somebody comes here is a very important point that because we may not get the opportunity to share this, okay, separately, so I'm going to share this with you now. So please listen very carefully. Vedam, the Vedic injunctions, are the foundation on which our life lives on, the whole universe lives on that, right? We saw that in the prayer slokam also, right? How Bhagavan asked Brahma to create basically based upon Vedanga. Please remember that. And what does the Vedam say when somebody comes to you saying, I'm starving, I need food, I'm starving? Just want to quote that to you very briefly. In Sanskritam, you're going to hear. It may sound a little bit strange, but listen anyway, and I'll give you the meaning. Okay? न कंचन वसतौ प्रत्याचक्षीत तत् व्रतं तस्माद्यया कया च विधया भगवन्नं प्राप्नुयात् आराध्यस्मा अन्नमित्या चक्षते एतद्वै मुखतोऽन्नगं राद्धं मुखतोऽस्मा अन्नगं राध्यते एतद्वै मध्यतोऽन्नगं राद्धं मध्यतोऽस्मा अन्नगं राध्यते एतद्वा अन्ततोऽन्नगं राद्धं अन्ततोऽस्मा अन्नगं राध्यते य एवं वेद. The meaning is when anybody at any time approaches you, comes to you seeking food for his hunger, you should never, never, never turn him away. Number one, this is your kadamai, this is your duty, vratam, discipline. Therefore, in different ways, we must work and make sure we have plenty of food available. Whoever comes at whatever time, we must tell him or her, yes, food is ready. Food is ready. Very important. That how much we must have food. When we prepare food, we must have food like that. Very important teachings. Okay. Now, whoever prepares food like this plentifully, for him, plenty of food will be made available. Whoever prepares food in a moderate way, only for him, only the moderate amount of food will be made available. And whoever prepares very little food, for him, only very little food will be made available. Okay? And whoever realizes the importance, the essentiality of what annam is, what food is, understand the essentiality of it through the annadhanam, and understand the merit, the punyam that is earned through annadhanam, understanding that, knowing that, and who does that, he will achieve that punyam. Very important. Once vratam is, anybody comes to you, Swami, I'm hungry, please feed me, should never, never drive him away. Instead, must find ways to feed him so that he is satisfied. Prithu Avataram took place to re-establish Dharma Samsthapanarthaya. That Avataram came. So Bhagavan acts according to the dharmic injunctions that he himself gave us through Brahma in the Vedanga. Okay? So next sentence, natural next slokam, is in line with that, in consonance with that dharma. I sloka number 12, because the people are still praying to him, explain to me in more detail. So let me cover slokam 11 first. Tan naha bhavan ihatu ratave annam. You see the word ratave comes. So we saw radham, right? Remember that. Tan naha bhavan ihatu ratave annam kshudartitanam. Shud means hunger. Arditanam, suffering from. Okay? Kshudarditanam naradeva deva yavat na nangshyamaha. Unjitaha, Unjitorjaha, Vartapatihi Tvam Kila Lokapalaha, Tan Naha, Tat Naha, Bhavan Ihatu, Ratave Annam, Shudharditanam, Naradeva Deva, Yavat Na Nangshyamaha, Unjitorjaha, Vartapatihi Tvam Kila Lokapalaha. Kanno Bhavanigatu Ratavenam Sudhatitanam Naradeva Deva Yavan Nangshyamah Unjitorjaha Vatapatistvam Kila Lokapalaha. Therefore, we have come to you suffering from hunger. Therefore, Chakravarti, we who are lamenting, suffering from hunger, starving for us, please take efforts to give us food. Because if we don't eat, not be able to get food, if we continue to starve, then we will be destroyed. We will die. Isn't it? Therefore, you are the one who's got the responsibility. You are the one who's protecting all of us, aren't you? That's what the meaning, overall meaning is. Now, pada artham tat. Therefore, Naradeva Deva, O Chakravarti, we saw that earlier, Naradeva Deva, so I'm not going to deliberate that padam. Naradeva Deva, O Chakravarti, Kshudarditanam, Kshudarditanam, suffering from hunger, Pasiyal Pidikapatta, Naha, for us, to us, Egalukku, Annam Ratave, Annam food Ratave to give, Ihatu, take effort. Okay, take effort. Act to give us food. Yavat, because Ujjitorjaha. Okay, Ujjita Orjaha. Ujjita Orjaha. Ujjita, giving up. Orjaha, Annam, food. Giving up food means not eating food. Naha, we, na nangshyamahe, we should not die. We should not be destroyed. Isn't it? Therefore, take efforts to give us food. Tvam, you, lokapalaha, lokapalaha. See how beautifully the words are. It's not Naradeva Deva here. Lokapalaha, the protector of all the citizens, of all the people. Lokapalaha. Palaha, okay? Watch that word. Because Tvam, you, Lokapalaha, we're protecting all the citizens, all the people. Varta Patihi, Kila. Kila means, isn't it? Varta Patihi. Varta means to grow, to nourish. Patihi, one who is the master responsible for it. Because you are the one who has to protect. You are a protector. So you have to make sure that you protect our life. Isn't it? They ask him. Maitreya Uvacha. Now that Vedam Slokam that I mentioned to you will be applicable. Okay? Prutuhu prajanam karunam nisamya paridevitam dharga dadhyau kurusreshtaha. Oh, kurusreshta, not kurusreshtaha. Kurusreshta is addressing. Okay? Kurusreshta nimittam so Anvapadhyata, saha anvapadhyata. Okay. Now a problem is there. People come and complain. What do? You have to think, hey, what is the reason? What is the root cause? Why are they suffering? Why are they not able to get food? Isn't it? You have to do a root cause analysis. You have to think hard. Prutuhu, Maitreya Uvacha, Prutuhu prajanam karunam nisamya paridevitam Dirga dadhyau kurusreshta nimittam saha anvapadhyata. Maitreya uvacha prutuhu prajanam karunam nisamya paridevitam dirghadadhyau kuru sreshtha nimittam sonvapadhyata. Kuru Sreshtha was the best in the Kuru lineage. Maitreya is addressing Vidura. Kuru Sreshtha, Prutu, listening to the pleading and the suffering of the people, for a long time he thought about it, reflected on that, concentrated on the problem, analyzed it. Then he understood the reason for their suffering, understood the root cause of the problem. Somebody comes and says, I'm hungry. Yes, giving food is important. But why is he hungry? What is the problem? Right? We need to understand, which we may not do. But he being the Lokapalaha, he did that. Why? What is the reason that they have been going, they're going without food? And then he understood it. Kuru Sreshta, Prutu Maharaja, Prajanam, the people's, Makkaludaya, Prajaha, Prajanam, okay, plural, Makkaludaya, the people, Karunam, the yearning, Paridevitam, suffering, Nisamya, listening to their yearning and pleading and suffering. Karunam in this case becomes pleading. And Paridevitam, their suffering. Nisamya, hearing that. Dirgham, for a long time. Gadhyau, Alosita, reflected, analyzed the problem, thought about it. Then, Saha, he, Nimittam, its cause, the reason for it, the cause of it. Nimittam, adan karanatai, anvapadhyata, he understood it. He realized it. Okay. Number 13. Iti vyavasitau buddhya pragruhita sarasanaha sandadhe vishikam bhumehe kruddaha tripuraha yatha. Very important. These 13 and 14, very important to understand. Iti vyavasitaha buddhya pragruhitaha sarasanaha sandadhe vishikam bhumehe kruddaha tripuraha yata. Tripuraha yata. Tripuraha yata. Ha means to kill. Okay. Tripuram. We'll come to the meaning in a minute. Iti vyavasitaha buddhya pragruhita sarasanaha sandadhe vishikam bhumehe kruddaha tripuraha yatha. Iti vyavasito buddhya pragruhita sarasanaha sandadhe vishikam bhumehe kruddhas tripuraha yatha. Once he understood the root cause to the problem, remember, in any problem resolution, problem definition is 90% of the effort. Solution is always easy. Understanding the problem is where most of us make a mistake. Okay, that is why in training, we're all taught to really, really understand the problem. Okay, it's not easy to understand it, define it precisely. Okay, once you define it, understand it, naturally you resolve yourself to solve the problem. That's what he did. Iti, thus, buddhya vyavasitaha, buddhya vyavasitaha, resolving in his mind. Once he understood the problem, he resolved the solution in his mind, action in his mind. Pragruhita sarasanaha. Sarasanaha, bow. Pragruhita, carrying it, taking the bow in his hand. Tripuraha yatha. Comparison. How Paramasivan in his anger destroyed the Tripuram. Okay? All the three worlds. Tripuraha yatha. Like the Paramasivan who destroyed the Tripura Asuran in this case, not the three worlds, but the Asuran, the enemy, the evil tendencies that that we all have in the three levels of awareness that we have. Okay, so that Bhagavan Sivan destroys that. That is why it's called Sivan, Siva, Mangalam, auspicious. Okay, so Tripura Ha Yata. That's why we call Tripura Asura, right? We have that function coming up very soon. And so Tripura Ha Yata, how Bhagavan Sivan, Sivaperuman, destroyed the Tripura Asuras, like that, Kruddaha, dawning anger. Now, Avataram never becomes angry. Remember something. Anger is only when is a result of unfulfilled desire. Bhagavan has no desire beyond all that. So what does that mean? Krodaha, Krodakrit, Karta. We say that in Sahasranamam. Anger is also a form of Bhagavan. He dons that form. Remember that. Next time, become angry, worship Bhagavan in that form. Oh, Swami, it is you. Okay? And so, Tripuraha Yata, like that Paramasivan who destroyed the Asura in the Tripura, in the three Lokangal, Kruddaha, dawning anger, carrying the bow. Bhumehe, Bhumehe, Bhumi Devi in male. Okay, grammar. Bhumehe, on the Bhuma Devi, on the Bhumi, to on the Bhuma Devi, what? Visikam. Visikam means the arrow. To shoot the arrow on the Bhuma Devi, dawning anger like a Paramasivan who destroyed the enemitic tendencies, the Asura girl in the three Lokangal. This Prutu, once he understood the problem, he resolved himself to solve the problem. So, with a resolution, resolved mind, took the bow and and the final word is Visikam Sandadhe. Sandadhe means he put the arrow on the bow. Okay, Sandadhe, Todutar. Okay, he put the arrow on the bow, resolved in his mind to solve the problem, to send it on the Bhuma Devi. Now remember, you all recall what happened. We all read in Ramayana, right? And how Bhagavan Sri Rama and the Rama Avataram, it's the same thing to the ocean, to the Samudram, isn't it? Samudra Rajan. And he takes a bow and puts the arrow on it. Very important. Now, why this has happened, and next one, let me take the next slokam also, and then you'll understand, appreciate rather, more of what on earth is happening in your life, in my life, all around. Okay? How all the Pancha Bhudangal of which you and I are made of, all the five Bhudangal only. Okay? Our body is made only of that. Okay? The Annamaya Kosam. So, to understand that, let me take the next slokam also, and then we'll come back to that. Okay, so now you understand, he's ready to shoot the arrow on the earth. Now, 14. Pravepamana dharani nisamya yuda yudham cha tam gauhu sati gauhu sati apadravate bhita mrigiva mrigayu dhruta. Pravepamana dharani nisamya yuda yudham cha tam gauhu sati apadravat bhita mrigiva mrigayu Udruta Pravepamana Dharani Nisamyoda Yudham Chatam Gauhu Satyapadravadbhita Mrigiva Mrigayudruta. Now, one Yuda Yudham means carrying the weapon. Okay? One who is carrying the weapon, which is bow and the arrow. Arrow is already put on the bow to be released. Yuda Yudham, Ayudam Tangiya, carrying the weapon. Tam, avarai, that Prutu. Nisamya, seeing. Yuda Yudham, tam Nisamya, seeing him who's carrying the weapon, who's carrying the bow and the arrow, with the arrow ready to be released. Ayudam Tangiya, avarai Parthu. Pravepamana, very much afraid, shivering. Arani, the Bhuma Devi, shivering in absolute terror, absolute fear, shaking all over, so to speak, we say colloquially, right? Ubba Bhayam, Nadingiya, okay, shivering, shaking in fear, the Bhuma Devi. Gauhu Sati, Sati means dawning, taking. Gauhu, the form of a cow, donning the form of a cow. Bhita apadravati, bhita, bayandu, in fear. Apadravati, she ran away, donning the form of a cow. The Bhuma Devi, shaking in fear, being literally shivering, looking at Prutu, who was now carrying the bow and the arrow on it ready to be released. In absolute fear, she ran like Mrigaha, Mrigayu Druta. Mrigaha Yudruta. Mrigaha Yudruta means the hunter. Okay, when the hunter is being chased by the hunter, Mrigaha Yudruta, being chased by a hunter. Mrigiva, like a deer, a female deer. How that female deer will run when being chased by the hunter. Like that, the Bhuma Devi, donning the form of a cow, ran away in absolute fear, looking at Prutu Maharaja carrying the bow and putting an arrow on it, very angry. You've got to picture the scene. Hunter is not angry, but Prutu was kruddaha, tremendously angry, in flaming anger. So Bhuma Devi ran, donning the form of a cow. What is the significance of the cow? That we'll take up next session. Why did he run? In fact, even I don't have to take it up next session. I will wait till we go to the next adhyayam. Okay, that's probably better because Vyasa Bhagavan himself will describe it. Okay, better to wait. But why did she run? What is the thing? See, the basic rule is this, that the nature, nobody can violate this. Okay, all the Pancha Bhudangas, okay, the sky, the air, the water, the sun, everything in creation have been given a charter. Okay, and the charter, according to that, they conduct themselves. Okay, now, not a single one of them violates that. If you remember, the Suryan comes every time. The air always behaves the way it is supposed to. The water always flows downwards. It always quenches your thirst. The Bhumi always gives you crops, and does not only crops, but so many other resources. So, The Panchabhutangal are for our um, sustenance of Annamaya Kosa. Not only your body and my body, but also all the other Jantukar, all other Jantukar. Okay, they all depend upon the Panchabhutangal because every embodiment, gross form that you see is made only of those five elements, the Panchabhutangal. Everything operates in utter fear of this Bhagavan. Okay. Now, let me just 1 second. 1 second. I want to show you something. Bear with me. Okay. Now, 1 second. Again from Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad. Okay, just to tell you what is happening here, why the Bhuma Devi runs away is this. Bhishasmat vatah pavate Bhisho deti suryah Bhishasmadagnischendrascha Mrutyurdhavati panchama iti. Now, basically it means because of the fear on this Paramatma, all the air is blowing, the sun is shining all the time, the Agni always burns, it has got heat, and the Indran does his job, which is all over Indragarh. And the fifth one, which is death, also walks, does the job assigned to it, all because of utter fear that they have. They cannot, the Bhagavan, the line that he has drawn, they cannot go this way or that way. Very important. Here, Prithu Maharaja, who is nothing but Avataram himself, naturally finds that Bhuma Devi has not followed what the duty that the Bhuma Devi has, which is to feed people. She has not done it. Therefore, that's why it runs away in fear. Okay. Now, when Bhagavan takes a bow and arrow, there is also meaning behind it, which we'll cover later. So these are the two dharmangal that I just want to emphasize as part of these slokangal. That's why I took the time and the liberty and your intelligence to quote from the Vedam itself, how this is not just an ordinary thing that somebody comes hungry, no, it's very important. Annadanam, especially when somebody who's hungry, to feed him, there is nothing superior to that. Okay, that you got to understand the punyam, the merit, the obligation, the duty that we have. Okay, and the second is understand how beautifully all the Panchabhutangal, the five elements, do their jobs. Whether it's a wind or the sun or the fire or whatever it may be, or the water, whatever it is, everything is doing its allotted job. Only you and I, we deviate from Bhagavan's command. Please remember that. Okay, all the other 8.4 million types of creations in creation, human being is the only one that violates Bhagavan's dharma. Okay. Now, so I hope this gives a little bit of a background here. Now, then we will take up with Bhagavan's grace, Slokam 15 tomorrow. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om